about all how it happened.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Flash Wolves now 5-3, securing that bracket stage and the #1 seed.
Never lucky.
That was a
at
painful
Worlds.
game to watch.
It was. Well,
Epicio really had his hopes up before that one.
he did.
Yeah.
He did. He came in here saying this is the game where G2 turns it around
Yep.
for Europe.
I heard it.
In
You
this
heard
tournament.
it.
We all did.
Spawn heard it.
But Epicio, so talk to me about why it's so disappointing though, because given G2's performance throughout the tournament, it's not necessarily a surprise that they lost.
Sure.
So what were the elements of the game that made it heart-wrenching in that regard?
Well, I think this game and the game yesterday against RNG are games where we see in the second round a G2 lineup playing much better compared to what we saw in the first few days. So you're starting to see more and more of the team who won the EU LCS. And yet we still see a team who have so many silly mistakes where you're just like, guys, come on. This is something you wouldn't even do in a scrim, and yet you're doing it right now because, again, focus, whatever mindset is not there for the team. And that's the painful thing, because they're matching RNG, they're matching Flash Wolves for such a long time, and then we still have some of these mistakes costing them a little bit here and there, so they don't actually get ahead. Like, just a quick example, Perks trying to 1v1 Mabel on an Azir instead of just saying, I'm just going to scale to late game. Why do you offer this chance to LeBlanc?
I think a little bit of it is disrespect, and I think it's a combination of factors. They're not playing at their highest level, but also the level of their opponents is much higher than it was over in the European LCS. So plays that wouldn't have been punished over in Europe are being punished here, and we see it in a lot of their games. Of course, they're giving even more plays that are open to being punished, but it's a combination of factors.
Yeah, Deficio, you had pointed out one of the rotations to the bot lane turret where G2 was stretching for just a little bit too much, and it was turned around, Trick got picked up. Spawn, I want to get your thoughts specifically on the pick ban here, because we see Nidalee and Graves banned again on red side, which is so unusual to leave one of the power junglers up.
Yeah, it certainly is, and especially when Sword Art's Alistar is just like there to be snapped up for the taking. I mean, when you have a look at this, they're going to prioritize Kindred. And I like the priority on that pick because Hybrid has shown that he likes Braum over Alistar for some reason, right? So all of a sudden, instead of going Maokai Alistar and just sacrificing the Azir and going towards an assassin in the mid lane, they're caught with, like, they have Kindred, so they feel like they need a control mage to be able to contest with that late game, and they give over the Alistar. I have absolutely no idea why Deficio, because I'm looking at this lineup, and it has Maokai, Azir.
Why. They're just not going to agree with it.
Yeah.
They wanted the team fighting solo lanes, generally. But they gave up a lot.
Well,
so there are a lot of team fighting.
I think the two jungle bans make perfect sense. G2 as a team, back in the EU LCS, have done this tons of times. They give you the #1 jungler because they know you're going to first pick it, and they then grab two very strong picks and save their own jungle pick for a later rotation, and grab, most of the cases, it was like a Graves into a Kindred or an Elise into a Kindred. If we look back at the season, they were fine giving Trick a weaker matchup to get stronger lanes or stronger team fight. The Alistar is the problem for me, because I feel like you ban that instead of the Poppy, and you still ban the two junglers, give them the Kindred first pick, and take the Maokai Azir.
So the reason I don't like it is because if you give up the Kindred, all of a sudden you shrink the mid lane champion pool because you can no longer play assassins. You cannot
Well, you want to
play
play Azir.
like
Like, that's locked in already.
Alistar's a better pick than Azir right now. I'm sorry.
That's why you banned the Alistar instead of the Poppy.
We're in agreement that the Alistar...
We're actually agreeing on basically the same thing.
We are in agreement that the Alistar should have been banned.
Yes.
It's just about which bans you're sacrificing or swapping out.
And give them Poppy, pick the Maokai, that's perfectly fine for you.
All right. Well, unfortunately for G2, they don't pick up a win here, a much-needed victory, but Flash Wolves will be happy to know they're moving on to the bracket stages. For the lowdown on that win for the LMS, let's throw it over to Shox in the interview lounge.
Thank you so much, Dash. Joined here by Karsa, the jungler for the Flash Wolves, and Max assisting in a translation as well. First up, congratulations are in order. The Flash Wolves have now secured that top 4 spot, so the spot in the next round, and also a first seed for the LMS. So first up, congratulations. And what does it mean for you guys as a team and for the LMS to have that first seed at Worlds?
他说：“恭喜你们，现在拿到了4强，那这样的也代表你们代表 LMS 拿到了第1种子这个位置。那你觉得拿到第1种子来讲，对 LMS 有什么意义？”
我觉得给 LMS 一个第1个种子是应该的，因为我觉得之前大家都有点低估我们了。
I think it's deserving for us to finally get a first lead because everybody has been underestimating LMS.
Yeah, they have in the past, but you guys are absolutely showing up. This game, again, your guys' objective control is fantastic. I wanted to ask you specifically about that Baron you snuck in the middle of the game that gave you a huge advantage. Where did the call come from, and who made it? to take that Baron at that time.
他说对，的确之前是低估 OMS。那你们这场节奏控制得非常好，巴龙小龙该抢都有抢。那尤其是比赛中期那次的巴龙扣打得非常就是侵略性，然后对比赛来讲是关键。那时候扣的是谁负责这个扣呢？还是谁决定要去打巴龙这个事情？
因为我们 Jungle 选的是劲爪，所以我们特别想要拿大龙跟小龙。然后那只大龙扣是因为里面刚好有一只眼睛突然消失，然后那时候他们是没有办法一直反应过来的，所以我们就当下扣了一个大龙的扣。
Because I pick Kindred as jungle, so we want to get all the objectives, like getting all the Barons and Dragons. And we noticed that a ward just disappeared in the Baron pit, and we figured that was the perfect timing for us to call Baron, and we did that.
In general, your guys' calls in the game seem to be absolutely on point. And Karsa, you have been around the world stage even for so long, but it seems to me that you and the team are taking a step to another level. How much do you feel the improvement also by playing here at MSI and playing all the international competition?
他说你们扣得非常好。那你已经国际比赛经验已经那么久了，然后你跟 Maple 中原联动打得那么好。然后感觉是你们已经带领队伍又提高一个境界。那你觉得你们现在可以在这个比赛打出什么样的成绩？
我觉得我跟 Maple 中野联动现在应该是排第2，第1名应该是 RNG 的小虎跟麻辣香锅。然后我希望我们可以在决赛再跟 RNG 打一场。
I think we are only second because RNG jungle and mid is doing very very well too. So we'll hopefully meet them later.
We will see what happens. Getting quite loud in here, but congratulations, Karsa, the Flash Wolves, another victory here at MSI 2016. But don't go anywhere, because coming up next is that rematch of CLG versus RNG of that nail biter back on day 1. There's the CLG heading to the stage, so don't go anywhere. MSI 2016 will be right back.
For now, the LMS owns the Rift with the head-to-head from day 1. He got a bailout, whoa, hybrid! And he'll take some out in Perks meanwhile. After he cleansed, Maple turns, and they start chasing down. This is advanced man that went far, but now Trick is in some trouble, and Maple looking to try and equalize him, and now does secure Trick, and he's not got down yet! The tree will finally Arcane smash him to pieces!
Nice!
But they don't have enough damage to turn their attention. Emperor's Divine, Maple! He's caught, he's stuck, he can't do anything! And Perks takes him down. Emperor's Divine, but it's not gonna mean a damn thing. Calling back for Emperor, and these Wolves are flashing forward. NL will be able to secure another kill. They just keep tagging and turning and going all the way. Double kill from Maple, and that's gonna be it. They grab G2 in their jaws and they rip him to shreds. Flash Wolves with another massive victory.